Hey guys, it's the Fly Natural here, and I'm back with another video. So welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you like what you see here, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the family, and to welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. Today's video is going to be a little different than the videos I usually post here on my channel, and I will be talking about my labor and delivery story with my newest addition. So if that is something that you'll be interested in seeing, stay tuned. All right, you guys, so let me give you a little bit of a background story. So for those of you who don't know, I am a mom of two beautiful little girls, and this time around I found out I was pregnant. I was really excited and hoping for a boy. Now, I didn't know my gender of the baby up until the point of delivery, because prior to that, any ultrasounds that we've had, the baby's always had his legs crossed, so I really couldn't tell. I just gave up after a while. I was like, I guess it's gonna be a surprise. So prior to this, my first pregnancy, I was induced at 37 weeks for having gestational hypertension. Now, gestational hypertension is basically just high blood pressure that's brought on by pregnancy. So my second pregnancy, I was also diagnosed with gestational hypertension, but I was able to go into labor naturally, and she came at 37 weeks. So with my history, I really wanted to be careful to make sure that this wouldn't happen again, but sadly it did happen again. My blood pressure did get a little high there, so my doctor recommended that I do non-stress tests twice a week, and also had me take my blood pressure at home twice a day and sending the results back to her once a week so that we can kind of monitor our blood pressure. Now, this whole time we never talked about me being induced or anything like that. I was just told that they would monitor my blood pressure. But once I went in for my last non-stress test, my doctor decided to just go ahead and induce me, because although my blood pressure was normal, like it was high, but not like risk factor high, but due to her not wanting it to get higher, plus me never actually going beyond 37 weeks, she thought it would be a good idea to induce me. Now, she tells me on Thursday, July 14th or 15th, I believe, that she was going to induce me that following Sunday. So I had like 3 days to figure out everything, and it kind of hit me. I'm like, wow, we're really gonna have this baby come Sunday. I was kind of like thrown off by that. I hurried up and I sped through a retie, because I wanted to make sure that my hair was retied, because I knew after I had the baby I wasn't going to be able to, you know, do my hair or anything. And I was also just getting everything together to make sure that, you know, once the baby is born, everything will be good. So there was a little bit of confusion following that day. So the doctor told me that Thursday to come in Sunday at 5 o'clock so that I can, you know, go ahead and get my induction started. So the nurse who was there took down all of my information and told me that she had it all set and that she was going to schedule it and send it to me via my chart, which is basically like online for you to check all of your appointments, your messages between you and your doctor, things like that. So at the end of Friday night, I didn't see anything. So come Saturday, I messaged my doctor and I was making sure that, hey, am I on for the induction on Sunday? Because truth be told, I wasn't gonna go if they wasn't gonna respond to me, because I did not want to get induced. I wanted the baby to come naturally. But she did tell me that she was gonna go ahead and schedule an appointment for me. I already had it in my mind that come Sunday, I'm going in at 5 o'clock. Rolls Sunday morning at about 10:30, I get up and I check my chart, because they said that I had an appointment and a message. My appointment was for 11 o'clock to come in and get induced. I called the hospital. I make sure that I'm good to still come in, and I let them know that I was going to be late, and I get there. So I get there, I get all checked in, and they go over everything with me, and they let me know the process that they wanted to take in order to induce the baby. So they wanted to start with a Foley bulb, which is basically like a balloon they put in there, they fill it with water, and once you get to about 4 or 5 centimeters, it comes out. And then after that, they wanted to get me started on Pitocin. I've already done the induction thing before, so I was really just hoping that I can get nurses that were understanding of the fact that I did not want to lay in bed. I wanted to use the birthing ball. I wanted to walk around the halls if need be. I wanted to be able to move, because I noticed that when I had my second baby, once I was able to move, the contractions were a lot easier than me just stuck in the bed and just sitting in my pain. So I expressed that to my nurses, and they were awesome. Awesome. They accommodated me so well. They put me on a Bluetooth monitor, which I didn't even know that they had those, but they put the monitor on me that was completely wireless. They were tracking my contractions. I was able to move around. I could go to the bathroom and everything, and that really helped me a lot. I had my baby father there and my sister, and it just made things a lot easier having my support system there. They put the Foley bulb in around 2. Yeah, so like around 2, they put the Foley bulb in. They let me eat and everything like that, which I was so happy about. So after the Foley bulb came out around 5, they got me started on the Pitocin. Now, at first, I was having contractions, but I wasn't feeling them. Oh, bless you. So I was having contractions, but I wasn't feeling them. And the doctor was noticing that too, because she would ask me how many contractions that I had within that hour. I'd say like 1 or 2, and she'd be like, well, I kind of like 4, or I kind of like 5, and it's just like 2 or 3 that I completely just missed or didn't feel. And I feel like that was because I was, you know, moving around, walking around, doing my thing. So about 1 o'clock in the morning, that's when I said I needed something for pain, because I wanted to do this with at least amount of pain medications as I could possibly take, because I have a sensitivity to like medicines and things like that. And when I got induced the first time, the medicine that they were using to induce me really brought the baby's heart rate down a lot, and it was, you know, causing me a big scare. My second pregnancy, I had her completely natural. I didn't get any pain meds. So this time I wanted to just go as natural as possible. So at 1 o'clock is when I was like, look, I need something. This pain is getting ridiculous. And they gave your girls fentanyl. Now, when I tell you that that didn't take away the pain of the contractions, it just cut that bite, if that makes sense. Like, if you have kids, you know, but it's like with the contractions, they hurt. But with the fentanyl, it's like you still feel that pain. It's just not as sharp. It's like, okay, I can breathe through this. I can relax through this if I focus type deal, instead of it just being like excruciating. But when I tell you, as soon as she put that thing in my IV, I was trippy. My baby's father asked me something, I don't remember, and I went to answer him, and I did like this, and I just followed my hand back and forth because I was on cloud 9, la la land. I was trippy. That stuff had me loop-de-loop, okay? And so that they were giving that to me every hour if I needed it. So from 1 o'clock to about 4:50, no, like 4:20 or something like that is when I got the fentanyl. But at this point, the contractions were so bad, I was just like, I need an epidural. And I didn't want to get an epidural, but I was like, at this point, I need it. So I'm like, look, I really need an epidural. These contractions are something different. These contractions are something different. So she's like, okay. So they get the anesthesiologist in, and he comes in and he starts to put the epidural in my back. Now, as he's doing this, I'm having contractions like every 60 seconds. And it's just like, you gotta sit really still when you're doing an epidural. I could not sit still. So I'm like, hey, wait a minute, give me a timeout. So he's doing it, and me and my nurse, shout out to Nurse Stacy, okay? You did your thing. But me and my nurse, we had a real bonding moment. I gave her a hug while she was like trying to hold me still. I gave her a hug, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is my last one. I'm not doing this anymore. And then she was like, okay, that's fine, but you have to get through this right now. So don't think about not having any more. Think about getting this one out. And she was being really encouraging and really supportive. and she, you know, she held my hand through the process. He's trying to get the epidural in my back, and he gets it in there, but then he's just like, okay, I guess he messed up, or it didn't, I don't know, but he had to take it out and move it to another spot. I'm like, I need to lay down for a second, and she's like, no, let's not lay down, let's let him get it, you know, let's let him get it in. And then right when she said that, I'm like, oh, my water breaks. And she's like, okay, get the family in here, because she figured like once my water broke, you know, it's time to roll. But she had the midwives come and check me one more time, because I was like, I don't want the epidural anymore, the baby's gonna come. And they came in and checked me, and they told me I was still only 6 centimeters dilated. And I'm like, there's no way, because I've been on at 6 centimeters since 4 o'clock when my Foley bulb came out. So I'm like, this 6 centimeters, like, no, this is crap, this is bull crap. Like, I just didn't believe it. The midwife was like, yeah, you're 6 centimeters, you know, you still got some cervix left, okay, we still, you know, we can still get you this epidural so you could possibly take a nap, because it's going to be a few more hours before the baby gets here. So they have my family go back in the hallway, or, you know, they were coming, but then they hold him off, and he goes to get the epidural in again. But at this point, I'm laying down because, you know, I just got checked, and I'm like, I can't sit up right now, I can't do this right now. And at this point, anytime I had a contraction, I'm screaming because I'm in so much pain. And it wasn't like I could count, like I was doing my ABCs, you know, saying ABCs to myself to get through each contraction. But it's like, at this point, I could not do it. It was just not working. Okay, so they end up trying to do the epidural while I'm laying down, and I'm just like telling them, like, I can't do it, like. And so it was a point in time that the pain got so excruciating, I just kind of like left my body there for a second, and I'm hearing my nurse, because I'm like, I was just screaming, and then I just get completely silent. And my nurse, she's talking to me, but I'm just not responding. I can hear her, but it's just like I'm not there. So she picks up my hand and she does like this, and I'm just like not responding. I'm out of there. So she tells the anesthesiologist that I passed out. I'm just as calm as can be. I'm like, no, I'm still here, I just needed a break. And she just was like, she freaked out a little bit because she thought like I was really out of there for me. Right when he puts the epidural in my back, I'm like, like, ooh. So the nurse, she checks me and she's like, all right, get the family in here. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, your baby's right there, your baby's head is right there. So I'm like, okay, let me like push. I'm pushing and I'm screaming, and I guess at this point Nurse Stacy was over my screaming, and she was like, stop screaming and push this baby out. And I was just like, okay. Ooh, I'm pushing, I'm getting it on my mic. At this point, I was only pushing for like a minute, but I felt like I was pushing for days. And I was like, oh, the head is not even out, how? So I give it another good push, and head comes out, rest of the body comes out, and I'm happy, I'm done, I'm over it, you know, I'm good. Me and the father of my child, we all decided to talk to the nurses and say that he will reveal the gender. He'll shout out the gender once the baby is born. So once the baby is out, I'm relieved, I'm relieved, I'm ready to hear the news. So I'm like, what's the verdict? What do we have? And he says, it's a girl. So yes, girl gang, mother of 3 beautiful daughters. I'm kind of sad, but I am very, very happy at the same time, because I love this little girl. She is so cute and so sweet, and she is chill just like her older sister, and I love every minute of it. She's such a little sweetie pie. I love her so much, and even though I didn't get my son, I got my beautiful daughter, and I love her so much. She is, she's awesome, and I'm happy. So that is all I have for today's video. Uh-oh, baby got the hiccups. So that's all I have for today's video, guys. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys, just want to wish me congratulations, be sure to leave those comments down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video.